Okay, you guys in the band, you can't rest. You got to come back and play some more. We got 4 minutes left here. Thanks. Appreciate it. That means 30 seconds. Well, welcome to GoFor Lunch number 28 here on Tuesday at noon. So today we're going to talk about social media platforms that respect your privacy. So stack up those questions, put a Q with a colon, Q colon, in front of those questions so it's easy for me to pick them out. So we will certainly pause from time to time to look at those questions. And thank you, Phil and Phyllis. And yep, sometimes I noticed that the YouTube didn't seem to put out a notice today. I was looking for it, but you can always count on YouTube changing things all the time. So thanks for being persistent and tracking us down there. So you may remember from our last exciting episode that we were going to talk more about the new Mac computers with the M1 chip, Apple Silicon. However, I decided to order a Mac Mini with an M1 chip in it, which will be here on the 24th, which just happens to be next Tuesday. So I won't be able to have any hands-on time with it by next Tuesday when it'll probably come during GoFor Lunch. So the week after that, December 1st, we will take a deep dive into how the new M1 chips will work in your Mac if you decide to get one of those to do the things that you do every day. Bulletin, bulletin, bulletin! Macs are being bricked by new software update. Sorry if I was yelling there. So, here's that story. Mac OS 11, Big Sur, was released, and there were a multitude of problems. So let's switch to our internet browser for more details. So here we are with a veteran Mac online column called Tidbits, and their headline is, "You should say no sir to Big Sur." No sir. So Apple launched Big Sur on the 12th of November, and one little interesting factoid is that it came out as 11.0.1 instead of normally it would come out as 11.0. So they're wondering if the M1 Max will have the 11.0. So stay tuned. I can tell you that next Tuesday. So there were quite a few problems. The download is pretty large. You can update directly from Mojave, but don't do it. Don't do it. Stop. No updating to Big Sur. Or you can update it from Catalina. So there's several ways to update it. They also mentioned that you can put it on a thumb drive. Some people, before they do the update, they download the update, then they copy it to a thumb drive to keep it as a backup in case they ever have to reinstall the operating system because there's some problem. So that's something that you can do, but it's something that I do. So if you need it, I can provide that. So because now, I'm sorry that I have to say this. I really am sorry, but I'm a big Apple fan. But I'm also telling you the straight story. And so here's the straight story. Apple is too big for its britches. So there's ways to roll out software updates in segments. So you don't release it to the whole world at the same time, which is apparently what Apple did this time. You only make it available to a certain number of people. And then a day later, you pick another group. And a day later, you pick another group. And you do a segmented rollout. I'm sure there's a better word than that. But anyway, you don't just throw it out there and let everybody go in there willy-nilly and try to do the update. Because what will happen is what exactly did happen, and that is Apple servers ground to a halt. Some servers that have functions for security stopped working, which meant Macs stopped working because they had to phone home to those servers, and they couldn't. So it was a big mess. So, and in addition to that, a few people that are rocking those late 2013 and mid 2014 13-inch MacBook Pros had their computers bricked. Bricked, you may ask. What does that mean? That means their computers no longer work. They are about as functional as a brick. And if you ever tried to compute on a brick, you'll know how unfunctional that is. Okay, so that is a problem, and there was no solution except taking it to an Apple store, hoping that your Apple store in your area was open, and or buying a new computer. So we are going right now to review how to turn off automatic updates. So you go to the Apple menu, you go to System Preferences, and you go to Software Update. Now, if you're on Catalina, it's going to be in a little different location, but it'll be in this window. Clicking on Software Updates, it's going to check for the updates. And while we're checking for updates, let's look at some questions. So Bob says, I just found my way by GoFor Live site. I think the link in the newsletter led me to a replay. Oh, well, that's interesting. Thank you for that little bit of information. And Kurt texted me here and said, check your clock. It's now 12:02. And I'm going to say to Kurt, we're on the air. Go to my YouTube channel to find us. Period. So I took care of Kurt. So we have 7 people that found us. So I'm sorry if we had the wrong link in there. So, so now you notice here when we are in the software update, which is in System Preferences, you don't want to do this, Mac OS Big Sur. No, no, no. But here's what you do want to do. Here it says other updates are available, and you click here on more information and you will find some important updates. The most important, of course, is a security update, so you always want to do those. The next one is a supplemental update, which you have to dig around to find out what that's all about. Pro video formats, it probably doesn't affect a lot of people, and of course Safari. You see we're in Safari version 14. This is 14.0.1. So that's an update to Safari. So you probably want to update your Safari. So you can do these updates, but you do not want to do Mac OS Big Sur until further notice. You might be thinking, wow, what do I do about my updates on my iPhone? So let's go here and get out of messages. So here we are on the iPhone home screen, and we click on Settings. There's Settings. Then down here towards the bottom, you see the little red badge there. It says General. We tap on General. And then the second line says Software Update. We tap on Software Update. And of course you can, I'm going a little fast here, but of course you can go back to the replay and go through this step by step. So as you can see on this phone, which is my everyday phone, so I have not updated it to iOS 14 yet. I do have iOS 14 on an older iPhone, and so I'm testing it there. So you want to click at the bottom where it says Customize Automatic Updates. You see that there at the very bottom, so we tap on that. And then you want to make sure that this little slide switch here is to the left and it is off. So that way you don't get automatic updates on iOS either. So again, unfortunately, Apple is a giant organization. They've got lots of people, and apparently they don't have enough people that are looking to see what Group A is doing and how it affects Group B and C and D and E and F and H, and nobody seems to have the big picture enough to say, hey, if you do that here, that's going to cause a problem over here. So it's just a fact of life. Craig Federighi, who was the Senior Vice President of Software, said over a year ago that they were going to implement better quality control. Well, Craig, we're waiting. So that's that. So any questions on, okay, Kurt has joined us. Thank you, Kurt. And Kay has joined us. So Kay actually was the person that suggested today's topic that we're going to get to here in just a second. So welcome everybody. And let's do that right now. So we are going to, oh, looks like I froze there for a minute. At least I did on my screen. Did I freeze on your screen? So back to our original topic here. And that is, are you interested in a social media platform or service that respects your privacy? So, of course, we're talking about the fact that Facebook does not respect your privacy and that Facebook sells your information. You know what they say, when the service is free, you are the product. And, of course, Google is the most famous for selling your data. So a lot of people are not going on Facebook at all, never went on Facebook because of all the privacy concerns. And many people are leaving Facebook, but it's a dilemma because your friends and family are there. That's probably why you were on Facebook. You want to keep up with the kids or the grandkids or the great-grandkids. So you might be interested in a platform where your privacy is a priority. In other words, they don't give away your information, or they don't give it away, they sell it. That's how they make their billions, literally, of dollars, is by selling your data to advertisers and others. So that is what we're going to talk about now. So this is kind of a tricky deal because, everybody's on Facebook. Of course, the younger people now would say they wouldn't be caught dead on Facebook because that's where all the older people are. So that's where we are. And also, there are organizations that kind of use Facebook as a website, which is a lot easier than developing and maintaining your own website for your group. So that's a problem, but not an insurmountable problem. So let's look at some different platforms that have developed, and none of these are brand new. They've been around. They've been kind of under the radar. I was on a professional group Zoom meeting this morning, and I asked if two of these had gained any traction, and nobody knew what I was talking about. So in certain areas, they are not known, but we'll find out that they are not exactly a secret to everybody. Let's look at the Mac here. So we are going to say goodbye to Mr. Tidbits here. And we're going to say goodbye to the problems of Big Sur updates. And we are going to go to Parler. Now you notice that Parler is spelled P-A-R-L-E-R. Parler. So it's pronounced Parler, but it's spelled P-A-R-L-E-R.com. So here is the opening page. It's free to join. And I think this one has a, well, maybe this one doesn't. So we'll talk about it. I thought maybe they had a paid version. So one thing that you have to remember, when things are free on the internet, and in this case you are not the product, what is the business plan? Are these guys going to stay in business? How are they going to make money? So, we if we're going to join this, um, we want to, make money. We want them to make money so they can stay in business and support our switch to the these new platforms. So, as an exercise, I'm going to go up here to the search bar and type in the name of a city that many of us live in. So here we are. So you can see as I scroll here that this platform named Parler is known to many Tucsonans, like Tucson Tony. He knows about it. And Betty Tucson knows about it. And Tucson Tammy knows about it. So I'm just searching on Tucson to find all the people in Tucson, or people that have said that, they are in Tucson, that have joined Parler. And the hits keep on coming. Will they ever stop? Let's see. Let's make sure they're not going around starting from the top again. I don't think they are. But anyway, somebody told somebody in Tucson about Parler. I don't know how the word is getting out. And okay, so we're back. We're down to the bottom here where it says no additional members. But that was a couple of hundred people in Tucson that are on Parler. So you could move your family, you could move your group, your club, your organization over to Parler, and they have many different features. Let's just look here at some of the features. So here's the What's New feature. I just joined Parler a couple of days ago, so I don't have any parlays available. And so that means, I think, when you follow somebody, which I haven't done yet, what they do, their timeline and Facebook nomenclature would be here. And of course, here's notifications. And this is a news feed, which I guess everybody gets because I haven't joined anything. So I'm looking at all this for the first time. And so as you can see, there is still political stuff on here, but it's not being controlled or what's the word I'm looking for? Influenced. And supposedly there is no fake news. Now, how exactly they are keeping from having fake news, I don't know. So anyway, so this is just kind of the main news feed, I guess. So, and then we have a conversation areas where you can do direct messages to other people. And then, of course, this is your profile. You can see I joined 2 days ago. I haven't put in a picture yet. So that's Parler. So let's look and see what questions we have here. Yes, Carolyn, good point. So as Carolyn points out, parler in French is to talk. So perhaps that it. I think that definitely has something to do with it. That's very true. So Phil and Phyllis said you see lots of names of people to call. So one of their premises is free speech. So you're going to see everybody there on both sides of the political spectrum. So it's not It's not just conservative, it's not just liberal, it's everybody. And Bob mentions that is it more like Twitter or Facebook? I think it's more like Facebook. Twitter is a very short form. It's 128 character message limit, and I haven't really, investigated it fully, but I don't think they have that kind of a limitation. So let's look at another platform, and that one is, let me clear my throat. So we're going to do a Command W, which is how you can close a web page or a window on your Mac. So that window we don't need, that window we don't need. So we're not going to talk about that one. So the one that originally got me on this trail is one called MeWe. M-E-W-E. MeWe. So again, this looks a lot like Facebook. And I joined two discussion groups, one on Apple and one on Smart Home. And at first I turned on notifications, and I was bombarded with notifications from the Apple group. As you can imagine, with everything that's going on with Apple, there would be a lot of conversation. And so up here it says that MeWe needs your permission to enable desktop notifications. Well, you're not getting it right now because this platform is very active. So again, it's not a secret. There's a bunch of people out there that know about it. So you can see here, I've got 4 new messages in the Apple discussions. So let's just explore that. So here's good, well, sort of good. So this person says they have a 2014 Mac Mini and a 2014 MacBook Pro. They're waiting for Big Sur Mac OS 11.0.2. Well, we recommend that you want to wait for 11.2 or .3, not any .0s at all. So keep that in mind. So let's explore. So I'm going to just close. So this looks pretty much very similar to Facebook. So this would probably be an easier transition for people from Facebook, your family, your friends, your group, than Parler, which has a little bit of a different interface. But let's just explore that interface. So here we are at home. So this is a real free form little home icon. And then this is showing my discussion groups. So I collapsed the Apple one already, and here's the home automation one. And so I'm going to collapse that one. And then this one, just if you click on that, it just kind of gives you a little bit different group here, and then it shows you groups that you can join. So I really want to join the motorcycle group here, but I'm gonna resist. And then we have this one, which is pages you're following. So you can follow or you create a page here. So that's like your personal page. And then we have events. So apparently the groups that I'm a member of don't have any events scheduled. And of course you have a search up here. And this is interesting. What are we selling in the store? Aha! So they have a business plan. They have a premium version for $4.99 a month. You can get a preview of that. And when you join the premium version, let's see if it'll tell us what we get. Okay, here we go. So when you join it, see, they are not supported by advertisers. So that's why you can trust that they're not giving away your information to advertisers because they have no advertisers. So it's what we might call crowd-funded. So it is free forever if you want to go into the basic level. But if you want to fund them, thus guarding your privacy, you can have video journals. You can have voice and video calling. You can have unlimited custom emojis and stickers. You can change your themes. You get 100 gigabytes of MeWe cloud storage, and you get a badge that says you signed up for $5 a month. So, and again, you can try it for 30 days for free. And it's risk-free. You can cancel anytime. So, a lot of features there for $5 a month. And again, when you pay them, you're not the product. They are the product, unlike Facebook and Google, where it's free and you are the product. So that is MeWe. So let's go and look at another one here called Microblog. So Microblog is a much more plain Jane platform. Again, they are not selling your information. So here's my account. So if I click on timeline, looks like the only thing that I've joined here is the help section. And this is the 15th. Is this going down? Yeah, so there's the 12th. Yeah, so this is the latest topic in the help forum on Microblog. So, and nobody has mentioned me because I haven't been active on Microblog. And I don't believe I have any bookmarks. So, oh, I guess I do have a bookmark. So Fiona is someone that's active on Live Streaming Pros. I think she lives in Europe somewhere. I know she lives in Europe somewhere, but I can't remember exactly where. And as you can see, this is not exactly up to date. This was from 2018. So that was when I was messing with Microblog originally. So it's at least 2 years old. So these are alternatives to Facebook and Twitter, and I don't think most of us are into Instagram or Snapchat, but that is someplace you can go if you are sick and tired of the okay, so we answered those questions. If you have any other questions, put them in now because we're going to wrap up this baby here in a little bit. So we have a new feature on GoFor Lunch. It's called the bonus question. Here we have a nice little case. This case has something in it. It's not very big. It's kind of heavy, and I frankly don't know what's in it. Here's the bonus question. How do you get... Well, look at that. I've been playing with this now for 2 days. You can see the white marks there, so I don't know if that's corrosion, but the bonus question was going to be, how do you get the zipper undone? So we're going to have an unboxing here. Well, maybe I should do an unboxing of the Mac Mini. I could do that probably, maybe on the 24th. So I guess the question has changed from how do you unstick a zipper to how do you lubricate a zipper, because in case you haven't been able to tell here, I'm having a difficult time opening it and I work out. Oh, isn't this disgusting? So I did all that just to find a bunch of corroded batteries. Bummer. So I think I've answered the question of why it got stuck. The battery corrosion that's what the white stuff, excuse me, that's what this white stuff is here. That's the battery corrosion was probably laying down and the corrosion got into the zipper and this doesn't look very good. I think that came out of there. So, pardon me while I get a Kleenex and wipe this probably toxic substance off of my finger and off of my work surface here. So, I'm looking for answers to how to lubricate zippers. WD-40, says Phyllis. So, that was my first takeaway, but I appreciate the answer. But here's what I've heard about WD-40. Is since it's well, it's made out of kerosene, as you probably know, and it tends to attract dirt. So sometimes WD-40 is not good, where you want to keep things dirty. In the case of a zipper, I mean, keep things clean. In the case of a zipper, you would want to do that. So Doriana says some people put soap on zippers to encourage smooth zipping. Now, well, that's a good idea. I know that some people put soap on screws, wood screws, so that makes sense. So that's a great idea. The other thing that I haven't tried is chapstick. Well, that's great. I've never heard of that. And, well, that's a great idea, Kurt. Thank you. The other thing that I was going to try is a silicone spray. So you can get a silicone spray, and I use this on my sailboats, and it's pure. You got to make sure it says pure silicone, no petroleum, and so it doesn't have that petroleum well, kerosene comes from petroleum, right? So it doesn't have that petroleum component that could attract dirt. So I'm going to try the I'm disappointed because there's no camera in there. I thought there was a little tiny camera of some sort in there. Oh well. So thank you for all of your answers. And beeswax, so that's kind of like soap. I don't have a hive right now, so I don't know. I guess you can you buy beeswax at the Ace Hardware? Let's see here. What do we have? A bar of soap or a candle? A candle, that's a great idea. I have plenty of candles and plenty of soap too. Okay, so I think our new feature, the bonus question, is a big hit as far as I'm concerned. So thank you everybody for playing. Let me remind you, and a little shout out to Alexis, who is the art department, among other things. I just noticed today when someone replied to the Gopher Gazette, which comes out every Monday morning to announce the GoFor Lunch, and we're going to try to get those links right this next week. I'm sorry if I put the wrong link in there. Wait, there's more responses here. What does Carolyn have to say? Soap. Okay, good. And, oh, that's a good point. WD-40 might stain. You're right. So sometimes that wouldn't matter, but sometimes that's important not to stain. So anyway, shout out to Alexis, who puts together the format of the newsletter, the Gopher Gazette. And we certainly encourage you to forward that Gopher Gazette to your friends and neighbors and relatives so that we can help more people at the same time. So, super slick stuff. This is an actual product that's advertised as not attracting. Oh, that sounds really interesting. Well, thank you, Bob. And then Alexis says that Joann's or an art supply store will have small cubes of, I'm assuming we're talking about beeswax there. So good source for that. Anyway, little rabbit holes here. So anyway, someone replied to the newsletter asking a question, and I didn't notice until I saw the copy of the newsletter in that reply that the gopher had a mask on this week. So thanks, Alexis, for that. Speaking of masks, have mask, will travel. So I'm still doing one-on-one consultations to help you with your problems, and we still do screen shares. If we can do things remotely, we'll do a screen share, but not everything can be done remotely. So, as always, we appreciate if you'd give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, so you'll get notifications. If YouTube is still doing that, which they seem to change on a regular basis. And thank you, Alexis. So I didn't write that down. And so she clarified that it is beeswax in small cubes. But here is something. Now, Bob has done this for the Tucson Macintosh Users Group already. But Alexis thought it would be a good idea to ask for gift ideas for people with computers. And we will consolidate those. And maybe that's what we could do next week while I'm waiting to get some one-on-one time with my new Mac Mini. So if you have any gift ideas, things that you've received that you really like, that anything in the world of technology, and we might even be pretty liberal here and just take any kind of interesting gift that helps your life be easier. So email those to the address that's coming to a screen near you momentarily, and then we will get a gift edition of GoFor Lunch together in time for the gift giving season, which is fast approaching. Just a little reminder of the tip that we did put in the Gopher Gazette is that Black Friday has now turned into Cyber November. So many merchants are jumping the gun on Black Friday and putting out their Black Friday pricing right now. So some people think there'll be maybe a little deeper cuts on Black Friday and Cyber Monday, but there's lots of deals out there right now. So you may, if there's something that you want and you want to make sure you get it, because things sell out on Black Friday really fast, you might want to start looking now for those things that are on your gift list. So thank you very much for joining us today. And I'm going to go make an appointment for a haircut. And I will see you next week. Have a beautiful day.